Hi, my name is Nomalanga Mhlauli-Moses. I help women build their businesses while balancing marriage, motherhood, and money making. Today I want to jump in on the conversation about the ongoing saga that is Chris Rock, the comedian, and his wife Malaak Compton-Rock's divorce. The topic isn't actually the divorce, but what they're talking about is their assets and how they should be divided. So this morning I saw a post by Demetria, let me just get her name right. Her name is Demetria Lucas Diolier. And she made a comment on her Facebook page, and she said she has an issue with how some of these stories about divorce settlements are worded. And I couldn't agree with her more because I had just seen an article that was at Financial Juneteenth, which was the wording was Chris Rock's wife wants a huge chunk of his money. And I think what Dimitri was saying is exactly what I was also thinking, is that the conversation starts to shift from their money to his money, which is obviously not fair. And one of the comments that I made on my Facebook page as I shared what she said was, who the H do they think was looking after his children and him while he was chasing those millions? So naturally, people commented and responded, and one of the things that I kept hearing a lot was, so why does she deserve half of his money? Was she a comedian? Did she do any of the work that he did? Well, of course she's not a comedian. She was a stay-at-home mother. But what I pointed out immediately was that she suspended her career for 20 years. Now, they were married for 19 years. That's almost 20 years. And I want you to think about something. The fact that she suspended her career means there's nothing that she could do now that will make her be able to make up for those 20 years in terms of her career aspirations, the things that she could have done in her own career. So she's never going to get that back. So just on that note, that's the first point of why she deserves to get half of what he made during that time, because she was there. The second thing is, other people says, well, how much should a person pay a nanny? Because what they're implying, of course, is that she was just a nanny to his kids. And of course, she was more than that. And one of the questions that I asked was, are we really now reducing wives and stay-at-home mothers to nannies? We're just going to call them a nanny and call it a day. And then the other thing was, they've been together for 20 years, and people are arguing that, well, she's just a gold digger and she wanted to come up, whatever that means, and he was her come up. So now that she's had her time, she wants to take his money and she wants to run. But the thing about that is that I don't think a person who's a gold digger sticks around for 20 years. That's the first thing. The gold digger is in and out, and she grabs as much as she can while she's there. So this argument that she was a gold digger, I don't think is a valid one. And I also don't think that that she was just a nanny and should be paid for nanny services is a valid one either. Then there are other people who said, okay, let's be reasonable about this. How about we take what Malaak could have made in those 20 years, tally it all up, cut her a check, and set her loose? No, it actually doesn't work that way, because we cannot define for them how much of Chris Rock's success was because of her, because we didn't know what happened in the background. We just don't know, and we never will know, and there's nobody who can quantify that. There's so many things that go into being a wife and being a partner in a marriage that there's no paycheck that can start to pay you for that. However, the other argument that I want to make is that, you know, we can have our opinions and people can argue and say what they think all they like. But the truth is, at the end of the day, there are these things called laws. And in most states, what the law looks at, in the absence of a prenup, and I'm told that with these two, they had a prenup and the prenup expired, as well it should, because I think a prenup is one of those things that you put into place to say, hey, if this doesn't work out, you know, everybody takes what they came in with and they leave. And I think the prenup was initiated by Chris Rock to protect his own assets, but it expired, and the reason why it expired is because their marriage went on for such a long time that it was obvious that she wasn't just there for a paycheck. So the prenup is out the window. But in the absence of a prenup, there are these things called marital assets. What you come into your marriage with, there's an argument about whether you should share that or not. And usually the argument that wins is the one that says what you came in with you can keep. But the truth is, from the time you get married, anything you acquire while you're married is marital assets. And the other thing is, even the things that you acquired before you got married, any value that they have that increases, interest that they gain, is considered marital assets. So we can argue all we like, but there are laws in place. And in the absence of a prenup, it looks like Chris Rock is going to have to pay up. And while we're on the subject, I'd like to address just one more thing, where people kept calling this woman a nanny and saying that Chris Rock made the mistake of letting the prenup run out, or he made the mistake of getting married in the first place. The truth is, guys, marriage is forever. If there's a mistake here, the mistake may have been the divorce. I don't know who initiated it, but if we're going to call anything a mistake, we're going to call the divorce a mistake. He had the choice to stay, work it out, and call that a pain, call that hard, or get out and then deal with what he's dealing with right now. And I think that we should think about that and refrain from calling her all these things like nanny, gold digger, and so forth, because she is a woman who was married to this man for almost 20 years, and she deserves the respect, the wealth, and anything else that Chris Rock can give her. And those are just my thoughts on it. Again, my name is Nomalanga Mhlauli-Moses. You can find me at healthyblackwoman.com and Successful Black Woman. Take care. I am